is peer-assisted learning? Peer-assisted learning, or PAL, is a method of teaching that relies on peer-to-peer mentoring rather than the traditional teacher-student dictation styles. It can be thought of as a collaborative learning experience where students essentially form a group and work together to achieve a goal. This is an environment where students sharing their ideas is encouraged with no judgment allowed. It relies on similar social groupings to use their knowledge to assist others in their learning, and numerous techniques are involved in peer-assisted learning. Peer modelling, tutoring, and monitoring are all techniques of PAL and are used in different stages of children's learning. PAL is most effective when undertaken several times a week within a span of 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the task given. So what history does peer-assisted learning have? Initially discussed by Greek philosophers such as Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates, who debated at length the merit of peers working together in small groups to fix a problem or reach a goal. These benefits were further developed in the 19th and 20th century by the likes of Piaget, Vygotsky, and numerous other influential psychologists and teachers who believed that peer-assisted learning was a valuable learning tool. So who uses it? Many educational entities, national and international, are using it to great effect to enhance children's learning and social development skills. Peer-assisted learning can be used as early as kindergarten, assuming that the student's maturity levels allow, and it can be continued throughout both primary and secondary education, as well as tertiary, where group learning and social development skills are required for a great many tasks. So why use it? Students learn in many different ways beyond the simple transmissionist approach to teaching. And for this very reason, teachers find it valuable to use peer-assisted learning to supplement more traditional teaching methods. Students will gain social experience, confidence and motivation throughout their experience with peer-assisted learning. It also allows for students to feel more involved in the learning process, where they can help shape their own learning to benefit them. PAL can also challenge students to consider their peers' views and understandings, forcing them to keep an open mind, which is important for students in order to develop critical thinking and ethical decision making. It also has more benefits than just helping students learn. Peer modelling can be used to help students in a behavioural sense, where teachers often place students who misbehave with students who are exemplary role models in an attempt to improve their behaviour and motivation. So what are the advantages of using peer-assisted learning? It is most effective when complementing traditional teaching approaches rather than replacing them, and only focuses on reinforcing what children have already learned, so it is an incredibly effective learning tool. It also helps to develop social learning skills that can only be provided with group work amongst similar staged peers, also leading to a greater sense of motivation and achievement. These social skills that are developed are crucial for getting ready for work or vocational experience in the future, where working in a team environment is necessary for success. Another advantage of peer-assisted learning that classic teaching methods don't provide is the ability for children to have a more significant role in shaping their own learning experience and that of the students in their group. The future of peer-assisted learning in primary and secondary education is increasingly positive, with more and more schools adopting it as a supplemental learning activity to cater for students who learn in different and perhaps more interactive ways. However, it is not without its critics, and as there are some perceived negatives to peer-assisted learning. PAL's effectiveness is said to be heavily reliant on factors such as student maturity levels. In all types of learning, students with lower maturity levels can negatively influence the learning of other peers around them, and peer modelling is a technique that aims to target this. In addition, student errors are generally much harder to pick up on when students are in several groups at once and there is only one teacher to provide oversight, as students might not be able to self-correct within their own groups. This will hopefully be researched and improved upon in the future when students such as yourselves choose to do this unit and try to better the learning of students globally.